Hello friends, I am Dr. Suchita Vishwakarma, Assistant Professor, Department of Management, School of Management Sciences, Lucknow. Welcome you all to the lecture series of Supply Chain and Logistics Management. Today we are going to talk about the various tools of performance measurement. Students, in our previous lecture we had discussed about what is performance measurement, why it is needed, the various dimensions that should be considered while measuring performances in case of supply chain. Now today we are going to talk about various tools that can be applied in different situations and by different organizations for measuring different kind of performances that are there in supply chain process. So let us go and let us start one by one. So before that we should also once recapitulate that what is measurement. Measurements are important for directly controlling behavior and indirectly the performance of any organization or system. It tracks the company's progress towards achieving its supply chain improvement objective. So this is very important, but organizations at the same time when they are looking forward for implementing any performance measurement tool must be very cautious while selecting any of the tools, because they should not be adopting or trying to use any tool which is cumbersome and it has lot of complexities. They should also be very cautious about which particular tool they are adopting or using, and for whether that particular tool is pertinent for the dimension that they want to measure. And the third is that driving a supply chain based on after the fact measures losing an important customer or having poor financial performances, and so it is not very effective, and so the company should look forward taken cautious that what are the various tools available from which they can choose from. So let us talk about all of them. These are the various tools that we will be discussing in today's lecture, and we would be discussing a few of them in quite some details. However, the last tool, that is the score model, will be dealt in much detail in the next coming lecture. So in today's lecture we will be talking about the first 12 tools of performance measure. So let us get started with each of them individually. Now coming to the first tool, that is ABC performance measure. ABC, as you can see, the name is activity based costing, and it was created in 1980. It is a costing method that assigns overhead and indirect cost to related products and services. It recognizes the relationship between cost and overhead activities and manufactured product, assigning indirect cost to the product less arbitrarily than traditional costing methods. The aim of ABC costing analysis is to identify and eliminate those products and services that are unprofitable and lower the price of that particular activity or process, and those that are overpriced as well. This ABC costing analysis is applicable throughout the company for finding out the cost and the financing purpose, and it is very much applicable in the accounting purposes as well. In this particular process, this particular ABC costing method or the tool helps to allocate more resources on the profit activities or the profit products or the departments and helps to control the cost on all those areas, activities and process where that particular activity or process is not adding up any value to the customer. It also helps fixing up the price or of the product or service. So as you can see over here, this is the basically a small diagram or model of ABC costing analysis. Over here you can see that in case of supply chain, if we take an example of any manufacturing company. So that particular manufacturing company is producing certain converting certain raw material and converting certain raw material into finished good. So that means that it would be using certain resources and obviously activities to convert the product into a particular object which has certain cost involved with it. Now, over here we also need to understand that every activity has certain cost drivers also. That means traditionally what happened that companies used to believe that or rather focus that the cost of the product is only dependent on whatever amount of resources that they are using, and these resources could be the tangible resources. But now companies do not believe the same. They know that that there are various activities which are run in an organization, and that also leads to increase of cost of the product. For example, if a factory is being run for, let us say, 10 hours in a day, so obviously that particular company is using using lot of energy also to run the assembly line. So, electricity consumption and the amount of cost that is incurred by each and every the energy consumed by each and every unit is also getting added to the particular object. So, this particular tool helps in understanding that what are the different activities associated with production of one particular unit of product, and if that particular activity eliminated, then whether that will have an impact on the quality of the product or not, and if so, then how the performance can be improved. So, that was about the activity based costing. Now, coming to the second method of performance measure, which is balance scorecard. Balance scorecard is a concept which was developed in 1990s by Robert S. Kaplan and David P. Norton. It seeks a balance measure to buttress the company's strategy. The principal purpose of balance scorecard is to capitalize on various areas, which includes customer, finance, internal processes, innovation, growth, and also incorporates the human dimension for performance measurement. This kind of tool is basically useful and helps in a proper measurement of in the performance measurement of general management, and can be applied for better understanding of the strategic role of the general management in an organization. So, the balance scorecard basically links performances with the 4 aspects as discussed, and these 4 aspects are: how do customers see us, that means the customer perspective; what must be excelled at, that means the internal perspective; can we continue to improve and create value, that means the innovation and the learning perspective; and how do we look to the shareholders, that means the financial perspective. Now, students, over here you need to understand that prior to balance scorecard, the companies were not taking a holistic view while implementing performance measurement tools. They were trying to measure the performances of individual activities in an isolated manner. So, balance scorecard was one first attempt where many of the aspects were taken together. So, let us have a look of balance scorecard, how it works. As you can see, as we had discussed also, that there are 4 aspects, 4 things that are measured in case of balance scorecard. So, the first being the financial perspective, that means the company tries to understand that what is the amount of input they are putting in the complete supply chain process, and what is the kind of output that is coming. That means the cash flow, they are trying to understand the return on capital, how much they are investing, and what is the kind of return, or what is the annual kind of return that they are getting. The project profitability, whether the project is profitable and no, and if not, what is the forecast, what is the sales backlog. So, all these are related to the financial perspective when the company is trying to understand the revenues that they are able to generate from a particular activity of a particular project, or maybe the whole organization. Then coming to the customer perspective, over here the company is also looking for identifying that how do the customers see us, that means what is the kind of pricing, what is the product offering that they have, how do what customers feel about us, whether they are liking our product, whether they are ready to not to switch to any other product or service, and what is the kind of market share that we have, not only in terms of market share, but also in the terms of mind share also. So, these are the customer perspective areas that the company tries to measure. Then coming to the internal business perspective, over here the company tries to understand that how and what kind of processes the organizations have adopted, and whether these processes, that includes the different activities, the time involved, the money involved, and the success rate of each of them, whether these processes are good enough, whether they are leading to the desired objective of the organization, whether each of them are adding value to the customer, and if so, then probably all the process needs to stay back, otherwise they can be removed. Coming to the innovation and learning perspective, over here the company tries to understand the attitude of all the people around, that means obviously starting from the employees first, and that what is the satisfaction level of the employees, what is the attitude of employees towards the work, whether they are properly engaged, whether they are satisfied, whether their suggestions are being taken in consideration, whether they are getting profit or part of the profit, the profits are being shared by them or not, and what is the role and contribution of each of the employee in the particular supply chain, because only when a employee is contributing, then only there is a use of keeping that particular employee in the organization, and whether the employee is ready to grow, not only in his personal career perspective, but also towards the achievement of growth of the company as well. So, if the organization, if the employee is working towards it, or any of the participant is working towards it, then probably that would lead to long term profit to the organization. So, over here as you can see, why it is called balanced scorecard, because it tries to create a balance between all these 4 areas and measure it simultaneously. So, the contribution of balanced scorecard is that it provides information to management and create accountability. It also helps influence behavior of various participants of the supply chain process. It also helps in facilitating development and encourages people to adapt learning processes. It also helps in achieving goals, congruences, and make system self-correcting. That means auto correction is one focus where we need not pester or tell any employee or any person or any activity that where it has to be improved. It should be a self-driven process, and encourage continuous improvement. So, now moving ahead to the next tool. The next tool is Framework for Logistic Research. This was developed in 1990s. It describes dependency between the level of performance achieved, logistics organization, and competitive strategy. It can be applied at organization and strategic level. It structures logistic functions into several dimensions like centralization, formalization, integration, and area of control. So, over here you can see that this particular process or tool is basically used only in logistics area and does not takes in consideration of any other process, that means maybe the customer satisfaction or the procurement or anything else. Over here the basic focus is centralization and integration of all the activities which are there in the logistics process. Moving further ahead, coming to the next tool, that which is GSCF framework. GSCF framework stands for Global Supply Chain Forum and was created by Ohio State University in 1994. This framework can be described at 3 levels, that is the strategic, tactical, and operational level, and highlights the link between supply chain process and its structure. This particular tool focuses on 7 processes, that is customer relationship management, customer service management, demand management, order fulfillment, manufacturing flow management, supplier relationship management, product development and commercialization, and return management. So, as you can see that this particular framework is also very effective in measuring all the interrelated activities of the supply chain. However, this particular framework has been more accepted by companies who are into international trades. So, this process and this framework being a process oriented process, constitutes a holistic supply chain model, and that is demand driven. That means where the customers are basically driving the complete supply chain, where the company is focusing on pull strategy rather than push strategy. So, GSCF is a better match for organizations with market orientation and due to its position to assure resource alignment. It has more strategic nature and focus on increasing long-term relationship and value along the supply chain. So, over here you can understand that Global Supply Chain Forum is also one holistic approach, but for the companies which are focusing on demand or rather the pull strategy. Moving ahead further, talking about the next tool, which is ASLOG audit. It was created in 1997 and this model was developed taking in consideration the automobile sector. However, this ASLOG audit can be implemented in various other organizations as well. This particular tool helps industrial and commercial companies to improve their logistics system. It assesses logistics process by analyzing their strengths and weaknesses. It is a transversal tool which aims to implement good practices dedicated to the companies and with low or medium level of maturity. It also helps to analyze the area of management, strategy, planning, design and project, sourcing products, transportation, sales, return, after sales, piloting and permanent progress. So, as you can see over here that this particular tool of supply chain performance measure is one which takes in consideration majority of the aspects of supply chain. However, it does not talks about customer satisfaction. However, it does not talks about the process of procurement and all, but still is considerably a very good tool which can be adopted for a better understanding of the logistical process. As you can see in ASLOG audit, there are 9 set of questions that are asked from the various participants, and these 9 set of questions are ranked differently and based on which the performance may be measured as a good or a bad performance. So, you can see over here that there are 9 questions and these 9 questions starts from management strategy planning, design of project, procurement, production, movement, storage, sales, returns and continuous improvement. And then there are various sub questions related to each of the area, and the participant is expected to rate the organization on the various aspects related to all this, and through which the company is able to judge its performance. The next tool that we want to discuss over here is Global Evolog or Global MMlog LE. This particular tool was created in 1999 with Audit International Limited and Automobile Industry Action Groups. It is based on similar principles than ASLOG frame of reference, but is more adapted for automobile industry. Though the previous one that we had discussed also started with the automobile industry, but can be taken in reference by other industries over also, but this is more beneficial for automobile industry. Although it has been developed by automobile industry, can be taken into similar kind of sectors like metal, work and chemicals. It assesses partner site process and performance and pursues continuous improvement approach. The aim of Evolog audit are to define a common evaluation of logistics useful for internal and external partners, to compare auto evaluation result of industrial best practices and to stimulate the improvement process, and to focus action plans on profitable activities. Moving ahead, over here you can see that the questions of Global Evolog tool is are divided in 6 areas, that means customer supplier relationship, work organization, continuous improvement process, procurement process, production process and distribution process. And in a very similar manner as ASLOG audit was done, these are also measured to find out the performances. Now coming to the next tool, that is SASC, that is Strategic Audit Supply Chain. This was developed in 1999 and it analyzes the supply chain in terms of process, information technologies and organization at organizational level. Its principle is to break logistics chain down to 6 competencies: customer oriented, distribution, sales planning, lean production, supplier partnership, integrated management of chain, and to link competencies to information technology and organization of chain. Moving further ahead, coming to WCL, that is World Class Logistics Model. In World Class Logistics Model was developed by Michigan State University in 1990. It evaluates the company's performance in terms of its ability to account for inter-organizational relationship through a model comprised of 68 questions. It can be applied at a strategic and organization level. It revolves around 4 areas of competency, that is positioning, integration, agility and performance measure. Coming to the next tool of performance measure, which is AFNOR FDX 50605. It was developed in 2008. It offers general framework for strategic reflection and defines different logistic process. This is one tool in which is process oriented and identifies the performance levers associated with each process. Its model features 6 areas, which is identification of need, setting of objectives, system design and development, production, sales and distribution, logistics, support and control over global logistic process. So, this tool is also very efficient in terms of organizations, for organizations which are doing international trade and which are globally present. Coming to the next tool, which is SCM or SME. This particular tool is basically used for organizations which are operating which are providing supply chain services to small and medium enterprises. It was developed in 2007 and it is composed of questions featuring 25 modules, which includes corporate strategy, organization and logistic competency, development, performance, process and measurement, information system, etc. Its target are mainly for industrial SMEs and in fast moving consumer goods sector. It is structured around determination of demand management, distribution, import export flows, stocks, production, sourcing, returns, after sales services and traceability. Coming to the next tool of supply chain performance, which is APIX or Association for Operation Management. It has been developed by Professionals Association EPIC in 2000. It analyzes innovation, customer service management, efficiency drivers, agility, risk control and sustainability. It mainly applies to industrial firms. Its processes are structured via a model that is mainly generated towards production planning. The next tool that we want to discuss is ECR or Efficient Customer Response. It was created in 1994 by an ECR, Association of Manufacturers and Retailers. It evaluates good inter-organizational practices and uses maturity based evaluation tool for global mapping. It focuses on collaboration between industries and distributors in FMCG sector. It establishes a common language based on joint evaluation of performance by act of SIN in the chain. It is based on 45 criteria structured into 4 areas, which are namely consumer demand management, supply chain management, technological platform and integration. Moving further ahead, we would also talk about EFQM model, which was developed, that is the excellence model, which was developed in 1992, and it has 50 questions and respondents are expected to rate these 50 questions on a scale of excellence. It covers areas relating to process efficiency, continuous improvement in product and service, personal management and progression, and it is suitable for all types of company. It is based on 8 principles, and those principles are customer focus, leadership, definition of objective, process based management, continuous innovation process, uh, civic responsibilities, and development of partnership. Then coming to the next tool, that is SCALE, Supply Chain Advisor Level Evaluation. It was created in early 2000s by the Institute of Supply Chain Excellence, and it is good and effective for all the sectors, and industries. It revolves around questions that tries to assess the strategic and tactical dimensions and elements of value creation. It is based on 58 processes classified into different areas. Coming to strategic profit model, it has been created in 2002 and derived from the DuPont model. It displays existing interaction between strategic and operational level by means of financial ratios. It proposes strategic and financial implementation based on cost drivers using return on asset or return on net value measurement. Now, in this particular matrix, you can probably see that these are the different types of decision levels that are taken into consideration, and the role of each of the measurement tool. These black dots basically tell us that whether that particular tool has any role in these types of areas. So, over here if you can see, the first talks about decision level, type of flows, level of supply chain, type of benchmarking, contextualization, quality factor, human capital, and sustainability. With this evaluative chart, one can understand that which tool can be adopted or is applicable for which kind of organization, or for measuring which kind of activity or process. Students, over here you must also understand that no tool is completely good or completely bad for any organization. An organization must first set the objectives or understand what are the outcomes they are looking for, or what is the thing that they want to understand or measure in case of before implementation or choice of any supply chain measurement tool. Because unless and until organization is not clear with the objective, they will not be able to understand that which tool would be more applicable for them. So, with a detailed discussion of all the tools separately, I am sure you will be able to guide your organization which you would be joining in near future, and then probably you will be able to help them out in doing a effective performance measurement of their supply chain process. For more details, you can go to further you can check all these references. Thank you.